What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Did you know that the billionaires are creating bunkers not for nuclear apocalypse, but for accountability from the greater population? They are creating fortresses, right, that you've only seen in your imagination on movies. They're creating fortresses in remote locations where they believe they will have the best chance to survive accountability from us human beings. You see, every era before we move into a new era, or while we're moving into an era, there comes a time where the establishment has to be dismantled in order for the new world to come about, right? And usually that involves violence, and that's just the truth, right? Because the establishment, they don't want to go anywhere. They don't want to stop what's going on, right? They don't want to stop the good times, right? And they have to secure their assets, or what they believe is assets, their resources, from the public, not from nuclear fallout, even though, they set it up like that just in case, right? Even though that's not going to work. If they cause a situation where we are having a nuclear fallout, they're going to die. They're going to die later, right? That's it. And in order for them to be able to make it to their bunker, and get secured and have all the staff they need to survive for however long, everything would have to go perfect. That means they're going to have to house their drivers, their cooks, their maid, their security, right? And it would have to be a significant security. They'll need their own little private militaries and all their families. You see, in order to maintain loyalty during chaos, right, because that's what they would need, because during chaos, and what I mean by chaos is when we all collectively say that Elon Musk is no longer rich. Because we got the power to do that. We can say Jeff Bezos is no longer rich. We can say Mark Zuckerberg is no longer rich. We can all collectively say that, because right now we live in a society where we all have collectively agreed that this is the way it goes, right? And right now it's not working out for the majority, the 99.99%. And it's only working for the 1%, right? Who has curated the world to the point to where they get to play in our faces. And when they play, we die. When they play and make decisions, we die. We starve. We go homeless. This world was meant for all of us, yet only the rich people seem to believe that it's for them, to the point to where they're buying islands. We know what they like to do on islands. We know what rich people like to do on islands, right? They're trying to buy up real estate from every area they can. They're buying up all the land. They believe they own the land. These rich people, because they have this thing called money that we all agree have value, which we could at any moment in time. Enough of us collectively say, you know what? That fiat currency is no longer currency. You are now poor, because we have all collectively decided you're poor, right? Which that day is coming, by the way. It's on its way, right? When that happens, these people are going to have to do something. And the thing is, I don't believe Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and all the silent multi-billionaires and millionaires, right? Well, you have to be bunker is not really a millionaire thing, right? You're not big enough to be. You're a millionaire, maybe you can get a house in a place that will probably have a less fallout from a nuclear, disaster. Maybe you can make a bunker under your house, which, that's a trend now. Bunkers under your house, which absolutely wouldn't do anything but kill you. You're creating your coffin, right? That's just a money grab for people, for preppers and things like that. But these goddamn millionaires and millionaires got whole systems where if shit go down, the plane lands, I get on the plane, my security takes me to my undisclosed location that you can only find with a special GPS coordinates, so I can hide away from society who is now hunting me down, because they know that we are, when I'm speaking on behalf of the billionaires, we are the reason why the world is the way it is. Because as soon enough, humanity will start hunting these people down, because when you realize who the enemy is and how they are collectively destroying us. Listen, on Earth, there's no reason why people should be starving. There's no reason why people should be homeless. We have an abundance of resources for everybody to have a nice little portion. Every single human being, there's enough space on this planet and enough resources for every single human being to have their own personal private space and have an abundance of food and water to survive and thrive. And we can create systems, because those systems did exist in the past before white people stole them from melanated people and stole them from Africans, where people will have a more equitable and equal life. And you still have the ability for entrepreneurship and, excel, right, economically, right? But soon enough, as the pressure mounts because of the greed of these rich people, and when another 20% of the workforce drops because of robots and AI finish the system of automation, because we're used to automation. Say the first time some technology came that made it easier for human beings to do things and required less human beings to do things that used to require a lot of human beings, right? But this is the final nail in the coffin, because now the rich white people, right, they have a new slave, a perfect slave. And that's the thing, the perfect slave, right, which is that robot and that AI can do everything. A lot of you guys who you think your job is safe, your job is not safe, right? Soon you'll be training everything that you do right now, you're training an AI system. Everything you're doing, you're training robotics. They can have set a program where a goddamn AI can learn your job and practice 1 billion times within a couple seconds, so they become way more proficient beyond anything you have the capability of doing in your singular lifetime to do objective. You will not be able to compete. None of us will be able to compete. And so when these millionaires and billionaires have their robot army, and you think it sounds fantastical, but it's true. When they have their robot security, their robot army, their drone, their overhead drone security, when they're moving about needing artificial intelligence to protect them from us humans, the real intelligence, when we get to that point, you guys will realize that we are, in fact, at war. We've been at war for a while now. It's just that most of us are complacent because we work for these billionaires. We're forced to pay bills to these billionaires. All of our money goes to these billionaires. All of our economy, everything that we're able to generate as far as money is concerned to take care of ourselves, ultimately it gets siphoned to the billionaires. They get all of the resources automatically by default because that's the way the system is set up. And so because of that, they're out here creating bunkers in preparation for what they know is coming. Because they're the ones creating the systems that's going to further destroy the balance of life, right? And so we need to get prepared. That's why if you look at my backyard, shit, my whole backyard is a food forest, and I'm still working on it because I need to be able to provide something for myself that doesn't require me to go to that millionaire and billionaire. Something. It ain't got to be everything, but something. If you got a backyard, you can grow something. If you could just grow one letterhead, that's one letterhead you didn't have to buy from that billionaire. All right? And if millions of people start doing that, we'll start siphoning what they call money away from them. Right? We'll have more money for us to invest in the things that we need to invest to secure our lives and our families. All right? So, without further ado, let's pay attention to what these billionaires are doing. While we're all distracted, fighting about shit that ultimately won't matter in a few years. Ultimately, none of this shit's going to matter in a few years. Listen, all the problems that we as people have, poor white people, poor black folks, just black folks in general because of the general hate and envy and jealousy, right? Asians and everybody else. All the collective problems we have is because of billionaires. And the billionaires know that our collective problems is because of them. But they do not care because they're making money. And they have convinced you that money is your God. That's why all you guys do, for the most part, is focus on getting money. And you don't live your life because you are a slave to the need to capitalism, to the worship of the dollar. So you hustle and waste your life to collect dollars simply to give it back to those billionaires because you buy their trinkets that they manufacture for you, right, through slave labor so you can buy it and feel validated. That's why you wear chains and buy Bugattis and all that shit. You're buying white products that's really not worth their salt, right? But you feel validated. You feel like you've made it. But in actuality, you're a slave. You're a rich slave, and you gave that slave money back to the billionaires. You made sure you kept the system going, because that's what it is. As long as we all worshiping the same God, which is money, right? The ones who on the top of the mountain can continue to rule over us via the rules created by lesser men centuries ago. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Get out of our country.
Yeah,
Like, go do
honestly.
this somewhere else. Peter Thiel, co-founder of PayPal, has long been associated with the growing trend preparing for global crises. Thiel's interest in New Zealand as a refuge began in 2011 when he acquired citizenship despite spending only 12 days in the country. His citizenship facilitated the purchase of a 477-acre property near Lake Wanaka on the South Island. Thiel reportedly has a contingency plan to fly to New Zealand in case of a global pandemic, nuclear war, or economic collapse. Thiel's friend, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, has also discussed a joint escape plan with him.
It is fucking dire if you're like, I'll bunk up with Peter Thiel. A wealthy person like Peter Thiel is just like a wolf licking its chops over a steak, right? Like, I could blast holes in the side of that mountain.
However, Thiel's plans face significant regulatory hurdles. The Queenstown Lakes District Council denied his application, citing concerns about the development's impact on the pristine landscape, leading to reports in 2024 that the billionaire had abandoned the project.
We love a town council that's like, no.
No. Reid Hoffman, the co-founder of LinkedIn, is another elite with his eyes set on New Zealand, famously referring to New Zealand properties as
apocalypse insurance.
Hoffman explained that saying one is
buying a house in New Zealand
is akin to a discreet acknowledgement of preparing for worst-case scenarios.
The top 3 countries where billionaires are building underground bunkers. Number 3, the Czech Republic has the largest known private bunker ever built. It has simulated sunlight and can sustain life for up to 10 years. Number 2, Hawaii, where Mark Zuckerberg is building a 5,000 square foot underground bunker. 11% of Hawaii's private land is owned by 37 billionaires. Many of them are building bunkers. Number 1, New Zealand, where so many billionaires like Peter Thiel and James Cameron are making moves as an apocalypse insurance. The government doesn't even know how many bunkers exist. But what do all these billionaires know that we don't?
Why are billionaires building bunkers in New Zealand? These luxury hideouts are being built in the most remote parts of the country, reportedly equipped with indoor pools and artificial sunlight, allowing them to be sealed off for years at a time. And billionaires from across the world are snapping them up. But why do they want to hide? What are they so afraid of? The answer might not be what you expect, because the answer is you. At least that's the view of this guy.
What are they so afraid of? In some ways, they're alert to the fact that their own creations, their own businesses, as one of them said to me, we know that AI is going to put a lot of people out of work, and there may come a point when the public turns against us.
You see, the one secret every billionaire knows about is that their power is extremely fragile, and it relies on you not knowing the power that you have. Because when people realize their power and resist together, the billionaires lose control. Like the Tesla takedown, when ordinary people boycotted Tesla after Elon Musk displayed fascist gestures, along with his support for Donald Trump and other far-right European politicians. This caused Tesla sales to plummet, which in turn had a major impact on the billionaires' profits. So what can you do? Realize the power you have, start resisting with the people around you. You can do this by protesting, boycotting companies who are actively contributing to climate breakdown, and calling on politicians to take power away from billionaires and return it to the people. Together, we are powerful, and together, we are making the billionaires start to feel the heat.
There's a nihilist vein running through big tech where a lot of them have go bags. They have a plan for if shit gets real, if there's a zombie apocalypse or there's a revolution or there's a massive pandemic, they have definitive plans and they've spent tens of millions of dollars. They meet their pilots at Oakland Airport. They get on their Gulfstream 650, they fly to New Zealand, to Auckland, and they have a bunker built out.
Is this true?
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Really?
There's a lot of go plans amongst the wealthy. And sometimes it's not as dramatic. Sometimes it's just a home nuclear attack, cyber attack, revolution. But I would say amongst billionaires, I would bet conservatively 1 in 3 have some sort of go plan. And that's nihilist. And also, to a certain extent, I think wanting to be an interplanetary species is a little bit nihilist.
Also, if they're saying that in the future, people aren't going to have jobs and there's robotics and there's this AGI, this super intelligence, which is going to be smarter than everybody. And even if there was a 1% chance that these doomer predictions around AI could come true, I would stop. A 1% chance of humanity sort of self-imploding or destroying itself. Wouldn't a rational person stop?
Well, okay, you're Oppenheimer. It's going to take 3 million American deaths to invade Japan. Japan will not surrender. And you're in charge of splitting the atom. There was much more than a 1% chance that our ability to split the atom and then show we would use it against a civilian population would result in the end of the world. Should he have stopped development of it? So a lot of scientists, nuclear scientists, killed themselves. They committed suicide because they were convinced once we'd split the atom and use it against civilians, it was the end of the world. It was just a matter of time before we were all using nuclear devices. So I don't I think you keep moving forward. The nihilism, where nihilism impacts these people, let me go back to the go bag. I talked to one of these people. He outlined his plan for me, right?
He's a billionaire.
Yeah, outlined his plan B, if things get really ugly, right? And my view is, okay, boss, let's play this out. Something happens. There's an event. It's too dangerous to stay here. You meet your pilots at the airport. I mean, shit really gets real. People scaring for food. People become feral. Like, you don't think your pilots are going to kill you and fuck your wife? Like, what do you think's going to happen? You don't think the people in New Zealand are going to be like, let's go take the rich guy's shit? Like, it strikes me that these are such misallocated efforts and capital that if you're really focused on your own future, whether you're wealthy or not wealthy, that your resources and your talent should be allocated towards trying to make this place a little bit more habitable.
Hey AI, why are billionaires building doomsday bunkers in New Zealand right now?
They're not building bunkers because they think the world will end. They're building bunkers because they think the social contract will. When you have that much money, you don't fear collapse like it's a movie. You fear a slow, ugly ungluing, supply chains stuttering, trust evaporating, politics turning feral, and the public noticing, really noticing, who has power and who doesn't. Add AI-driven job displacement, misinformation at industrial scale, climate shocks, pandemics, and the simple fact that modern life is a just-in-time miracle held together by vibes and logistics. And you get a rich person's nightmare. Not death, but loss of control. New Zealand is the luxury version of far away. It's geographically isolated, politically stable, low population density, food and water security, and it's not on the front row of most geopolitical blast radii. A bunker there isn't a survival plan, it's an exit option. It's a hedge against the one risk money can't easily buy off in the moment, mass instability. Here's the part that matters for you. Don't read bunker building as prophecy. Read it as signal. The people closest to the levers think turbulence is normal now. So build your own bunker in skills, community, and optionality. Get AI literate fast, diversify income, reduce dependency on fragile systems, and invest in relationships that actually show up when things wobble. The future isn't ending, it's repricing security, brutally and in real time.
Okay.
The premise of their escape plans, their sealed-off eco-villages and Mars colonies and eugenic civilizations, is that they can account for everything. No surprises, no wiggle room, no magic, no women for that matter, just robots and little girls. And it never works. No matter how well they lay down their foundation, there's always cracks in the pavement, and something sprouts through it, unaccounted for, alive in spite of everything.
So billionaires keep building nuclear bunkers, but do they actually work? So here's the thing, modern nuclear bombs can actually cause damage up to 10 miles around them. If you're close to the blast itself, depth is everything, but we're talking about hundreds of meters underground here. Further out, and radiation becomes the problem. Scientists say that blocking that requires very, very thick concrete and ideally lead-lined walls. And most commercial bunkers don't come close to either of those standards. We're talking about military level depth.
How does it make you feel when you see Mark Zuckerberg and all these billionaires creating these nuclear bunkers?
So you just explode a nuclear weapon 300 miles above Oklahoma and goodbye the power grid. The nuclear EMP that just takes out all electricity. Whoever's in their bunker is working on a backup generator, and that backup generator has only so much fuel. And if you can't pump fuel ever again, you suffocate in your nuclear bunker.
Who survives?
Who would want to survive? In essence, 5 billion people will die. The people that die in the minutes and hours of the fireballs, the fallout, and then the nuclear winter. The temperature of the Earth will drop by 40 degrees Fahrenheit. There will be 330 billion pounds of soot lofted into the air. You'd have like this small group of people who would essentially become hunter-gatherers. You'd have to be an advanced prepper with military training to be able to survive in a world without agriculture.
You just can't make this up. It's crazy, y'all.
Elon Musk now has more net worth than the bottom 50% of American households. If you have enough money, you can go to the Met Gala.
You can go to fucking space, dude.
I just think it's insane that someone would spend billions of dollars to try and inhabit space. That's so nihilistic. I mean, that's the ultimate go bag. Wouldn't your billions be better served trying to make this place a little bit more fucking habitable? At some point, The bottom 90 realizes the fastest way to double their income is to kill the 1%, or at least take their shit away and tell them they have 48 hours to get out of the country.
With the bunkers and Zuckerberg, and I'm going to go to New Zealand, and it's kind of like, you want that? Like, why not just do what you can to make the world better? Because that seems like entirely self-defeating. Having to live in a bunker, like, that's your end game? Bunker? Bunker. What the fuck did you do to create a world that you need a bunker?
I know someone has a bunker in New Zealand and a whole Go plan. If shit really gets real and I'm your pilot, I'll fly you there and then I'll kill you.
Yes.
And then I'll live in your bunker.
Make peace with your security, because he's gonna fuck your wife.
Well,
the first opportunity he had, you might not even need the opportunity. He's just gonna fuck your wife. It's like, hey, Zuckerberg, how good are you at jujitsu?
Flowing to be taken lightly. These fake niggas ain't gonna like me. Cause a nigga got a flow too real. Shit, I bet they gon' gang up to fight me. But enough of the stands, I'm repping my brand.